So let's just start with a really direct question. Why are you still in debt? Seriously. If you've ever felt stuck or just totally frustrated, maybe like you're missing something obvious, then you're in the right place. And I'll let you in on a little secret. The answer probably isn't what you've been telling yourself.
For most people, debt is not really a math problem. It's not about being bad with numbers or not being able to add and subtract. It's a human problem, and it's driven by forces that are way more powerful and complex than what a simple calculator can solve.
The financial author Morgan Housel just puts it perfectly. He says that our success with money has way less to do with how smart we are and far more to do with our behavior, our little quirks, our biases, our emotional reactions. I mean, brilliant people can make just terrible money decisions, while everyday folks can build incredible wealth. Why? Because they manage their behavior. And that idea right there, that is our key to unlocking this whole debt cycle.
Okay, so if behavior is the key, then what's driving that behavior? Let's dig into the three big emotional drivers that can keep us stuck in that cycle of borrowing. We're going to start with a cognitive bias that honestly affects every single one of us. First up, we have something called present bias. Just think about it for a second. Our brains are basically hardwired to want good stuff right now and to push off the not so good stuff until later. We are fantastic at feeling the immediate pleasure of a reward, but we're not so great at truly feeling the distant pain of a consequence. And this is the classic scenario, isn't it? That brand new gadget or that vacation you just put on a credit card, man, it gives you an immediate hit of happiness. But the bill? That's a problem for future you. The pleasure is real, it's tangible, it's happening today. The pain of that payment, though, that's just some abstract idea way down the road. We use money and the things we buy all the time to tell the world, and maybe more importantly, to tell ourselves who we are. Are we successful? Are we cool? Are we part of the group? Spending becomes this language that we use to communicate our place in the world. And that emotional need to belong, to fit in, is so incredibly powerful. Whether it's trying to keep up with our friends in real life or comparing ourselves to those perfectly curated lifestyles we see on social media, that pressure to spend just to feel good enough can drive a relentless cycle of debt. And it's a powerful force, usually working just beneath the surface of our awareness. And the third major driver is something I think a lot of us can relate to, just plain old avoidance. See, debt often brings with it this heavy dose of shame. And that feeling can be so overwhelming that the easiest thing to do in the moment is to simply not look, to just ignore the reality of the whole situation. Now, this is where things can really start to spiral. When we're too ashamed or too anxious to open the bills or check our bank balance, well, we can't take any action to fix things. Avoidance lets these small, totally manageable debts quietly grow with interest until one day they become these huge, seemingly impossible problems. So we've got these powerful emotional forces pulling us in different directions. And what's really fascinating is how the most famous financial advice out there actually works because it cleverly deals with these very emotions, not just the numbers on a page. Okay, let's take Dave Ramsey's debt snowball. Now, mathematically, it makes more sense to pay off the highest interest debt first, right? But he tells you to pay the smallest one first. Why? Because it delivers a quick emotional win. Paying off a full account, no matter how small, gives your brain a little hit of dopamine. That feeling of success builds the confidence and momentum you need to keep going. And that is often way more powerful than pure math. Or how about Suze Orman's advice to make a personal vow? That's a classic commitment device. It turns 1,000 little daily decisions into one big, upfront emotional promise, which means you have to use less willpower fighting temptation every single day. All right, understanding the psychology behind all this is the first and honestly the most crucial step. So now, let's get into our last section and see how we can actually use that knowledge. First things first, you've got to name the emotion. For just a couple of weeks, anytime you spend money, jot down how you were feeling right before you did it. Were you bored, stressed, a little lonely maybe? Just having that awareness is the foundation for everything else. Then create those small wins we were just talking about. Use a method like the snowball to build that powerful forward momentum. Third, automate your payments. This just takes the daily battle of willpower right out of the equation. And finally, and this one is huge, reframe your goal. You're not sacrificing things, you are actively buying back your freedom and your peace of mind. Now listen up, because this is one of the most powerful emotional tools you can possibly build. A small emergency buffer. Even just $500 can be your defense against panic. When some unexpected expense hits, and it always does, this little fund lets you react with logic,
not with the stress that sends you running straight for a credit card. Next, you need to actively change your environment. If those temptation emails are flooding your inbox, unsubscribe. If certain social media accounts just trigger feelings of envy, go ahead and unfollow. It's also so important to be honest about your mental health. If you know that spending is a way you cope with anxiety or depression, getting to the root cause is absolutely essential. And finally, plan for setbacks, because they will happen. Having a plan for when you slip up prevents that shame from sending you right back into the avoidance cycle. So, if there's one crucial point to take away from all of this, it's simple, but it's profound. Having debt doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean you're irresponsible or a failure. It means you're human, with human emotions, trying to navigate a really complex financial world. And that brings us to our final thought for today. Instead of just asking how you can earn more or spend less, maybe start with a different and much more powerful question. What's the one feeling, boredom, stress, joy, envy? What's the one feeling that truly drives your spending? Because the answer to that, it just might be the most valuable financial information you ever discover.